Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to states ranked by their musical artists, and this is a video by Geography King. Links are in the description if you want to check out the video alone without my reaction and just to go and support him and stuff. But yeah, it's just pretty self-explanatory, but I'm quite interested by this because I've never done a video like this before, and obviously a lot of music and just a lot of the music wherever it is in the charts, I don't listen to chart music, but whatever it is, it's just all over the place. A lot of it comes from the US, and yeah, I'm interested in seeing where some of these, I guess, artists or bands or musicians are from. But yeah, we're going to get into this, hopefully going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Instagram, my Twitter for those who want to follow me. Same for my Patreon if you want extra reactions of mine. They get blocked on YouTube. If I don't know one of these artists, don't hate me. I don't know a lot of genres, so there's probably going to be a lot here that I don't know of, but it is what it is. Deal with it.
Right, dead last is South Dakota. The one artist they have from there is just barely large enough to even be considered for this video. Wyoming, same deal.
So this, I just want to search up their names here. Paradise Fears. I could do this on my laptop, on my computer, but let's just see how many listeners they have. They have 130,000, to be fair. That's not actually that bad.
They were just barely large enough to even be considered for this video.
I don't know them.
Wyoming, same deal here, just one artist, but their one artist is slightly bigger than the one from South Dakota. Montana at least has a few different artists from there, but you probably haven't heard of any of them. But the guy Tim Montana,
I mean, he's called Tim Montana, but you got French Montana. Why is he called French Montana then? Where is he from? And where does he get his name from? I mean, obviously Montana is just the last name, to be fair. So
Montana, that's at least his real name. That's pretty cool. Moving over to Idaho, a couple of artists you may actually have heard of before.
Never.
Maine has just a few artists large enough to be considered for this list.
I wonder the first one.
All that terribly
do know.
Next door, New Hampshire, in a similar situation, just a few artists from there, none of which are huge. Also in New England is Rhode Island. Only one artist from there, but at least he had a big hit back in the 90s, so it's someone you might actually have heard of.
Nope.
Nebraska has a couple of artists from there, but when 50% of the main artists from your state is MANNHEIM Steamroller, there's a problem. New Mexico might be my favorite state, but it's not because of the number of artists that come from there. I do like the Shins, but they really are the only major artists from there.
Don't know them
again. Of all of the states that only have one artist from that state, Delaware ranks the highest because at least their one main artist is fairly well known. With so many German immigrants having settled in North Dakota, it makes perfect sense that Lawrence Welk, a polka band leader, is from there. Alaska, not many people, but two fairly well-known artists.
Portugal the Man. I didn't know they're from the US. I know these because of FIFA. But yeah, I do know them. I didn't know they'd be from Alaska. That's actually kind of surprising.
And Portugal, the Man.
Portugal, the Man. God, you probably forgot that's how you say it.
I should probably rank Utah dead last.
So they're the first I knew them.
Osmonds are from there, but alas, they were a major act.
Portugal, the Man. I swear they're like really big. I know I could be. Wait, can I get my Spotify up here? Let me just. Spotify. I don't want to like get something up. Move it out of the way. Move. Oh. I don't know if I've shown anything or not, but can you do anything with that? No, it's just right. Portugal, the Man. They have 6 million monthly listeners. I mean, for 40th place or 39th place or whatever it was, that's quite good. Right, the Osmonds, let's just search these up. I know I'm wasting time here, but and obviously they're from a long time ago, so I guess it's a lot harder to judge. Yeah, but then if they're from a long time ago, but I've never heard of them again.
Back in the 1970s. Wisconsin is the poorest performing state on this list relative to its population. 20th in population, 37th on this list. And the only reason it's that high is because
I'm joking.
Les Paul is such a major name in the history of rock and roll.
I don't know.
Oregon is surprisingly low on this list, being that Portland has a cool and hip music scene.
I'm really showing my lack of knowledge with music, alright? I'm sorry. I don't know much about rock or old sort of music, so that's probably why.
And there are a decent number of names from Oregon, but none of these are really huge. Contrary to popular belief, John Denver is not from West Virginia. However, Kathy Mattea is, and nothing says romance like 18 wheels and a dozen roses. Vermont, you only have 2 names from there, but one of them is really big.
Do I know Grace Potter? Probably not. Sounds probably just a very normal name, and I'm thinking I know it. No, I don't.
So if you're a middle-aged white person and you've dabbled in drugs, you've probably heard of Fish.
Never heard of
The
him.
most surprisingly low-ranked state on this list is Colorado. There are some big names here, but surprisingly few.
Wait, is that the One Republic that I'm thinking of? Because surely, if it is, I know that I've heard of the Fray as well. Yeah, it is. The One Republic should be higher than that. They're fucking huge. When I was a kid, like when I was really young, like my favorite song was a One Republic song, but I was like 5 then. The Fray. So I guess he's not actually ranked them how they should be. He's just listing them, right? Yeah, there's some big artists. So this is 33. There's some like artists that I know a lot of them actually. I think I've heard of the Lumineers as well.
For a fairly large state, but it kind of goes with the whole trend of the interior western states not really being known for their music scenes. Iowa is another state that doesn't have a large number of artists from there, but the Everly Brothers are a major act in terms of the history of rock and roll, so the state gets a bump here. Hawaii, small state, not a lot of people.
I mean, Bruno Mars. What a name! Someone called Hawaii in Hawaii. That's very creative.
But a couple of big names on here. And yes, there was a heavy metal band with the name Hawaii that featured Marty Friedman, who later joined Megadeth. South Carolina, a few big names here, including jazz legend Dizzy Gillespie. And there's actually a street in Columbia called Hootie and the Blowfish Street. Nevada has a decent number of artists.
The Killers, Imagine Dragons. I know these 3. Neo. Okay, yeah, I know 4 of these.
And some really big names as
I've
well,
heard
but
of 4 of
these
these.
are all artists that started in the past 20 years. And that makes perfect sense based on the popular...
The fact that the state is in a desert and people have been moving there a lot more recently. Yeah, that does make sense.
explosion in Nevada over the past 20 years. Kansas is home to rock band Kansas and 3 well-known singer-songwriters.
Don't know.
Arizona is home to a couple of well-known country singers and bands, but one of the greatest band names of all time is from there, Meat Puppets. Connecticut, small state, not a large list of artists from there, but some pretty well-known acts. And can you imagine how out of control a party would be if it's headlined by the Carpenters and Michael Bolton? Alabama is home to Alabama, as well
Lionel
as
Richie.
legendary singers Hank Williams and Lionel Richie. Getting down into Arkansas, we're starting to see a larger number.
Johnny Cash, Evanescence. They've got that one song that I know of. Wake Me Up. Well, that song used to be stuck in my head when I was younger. To the 2 that I know
Number
here.
of country singers here. Johnny Cash, Glenn Campbell, and Conway Twitty are major names in the history of country. And Al Green is a legendary soul singer. And we move on from there to Tennessee. Tennessee being ranked...
Tina Turner, I'm 99% sure I know. Paramore, that was my brother's favourite band when he was younger. Used to drive me insane. Booker T.
Here might actually be a surprise for how low it is. It's one of the most important
3 6
states in the country for music in terms of the recording industry, with major labels in Nashville and Memphis. But many of the artists that got big in those studios were actually from other places. Nonetheless,
wow.
There are some huge names coming out of Tennessee. Maryland isn't a state that comes up too often when you talk about the top states.
Logic. Corday.
For music, and that might be because there were no major artists from
Jimmy's
Maryland that
Chicken
were part
Shack.
of the initial wave of the beginnings of rock and roll. So a decent number of artists coming out of Maryland, even though it isn't usually associated with a lot of great music. Just for fun, I wanted to show where Australia would be if I were counting it the same as a state.
Oh, damn.
For reference, Australia has about 20...
Who of these do I know? So I know AC/DC, Tame Impala. Off Tame Impala alone, they should be higher, man. They bang. Kylie Minogue. Is that all I know? See, it's from Australia. I mean, you're basing off this. I think Australia should be a bit higher. But then saying that, a few of the states that I've seen should be a bit higher based off the sort of size of them, I guess. But again, it's just all opinions. And I guess it is sort of based off numbers too. So there's a few that I know, but there's a lot that I've never heard of.
6 million people, which is more than Florida but less than Texas. And this is just in terms of Australian artists that made it big in the U.S., not ones that only stayed big over there. Heading down to Mississippi, this is often considered the birthplace of rock and roll. A lot of classic Mississippi Delta blues musicians got their start here, but it isn't just a bunch of old music that has come out of Mississippi.
She got Elvis. I was just sort of having a little brain fart. Elvis. I mean, of Elvis Presley alone, shouldn't it be higher? Okay, I'm being picky here. It doesn't actually matter that much, but yeah, I mean, I don't really know anyone else, to be honest. But based off Elvis Presley alone, surely the top 10 instantly.
There's still plenty of good artists coming out of there today. The number of artists coming out of Indiana.
You've got the Jackson family, of course. And that's all I know.
Isn't impressive, but there are some heavy hitters here. With Michael and Janet Jackson, the Jackson 5, and John Mellencamp all being huge artists. Most of the major artists that have come out of Indiana are really major artists. Kentucky has a pretty impressive list of artists that have come from there, and most of them do trend towards country and bluegrass.
I don't know any of these. God damn.
And Chris Stapleton is so good that even country music radio stations will play him. But there's also some good non-country that has come out of Kentucky through the years. And kind of like Maryland, Virginia usually is.
Pharrell Williams is from Virginia. Timberland, I remember him. Missy Elliott, obviously. Trey Songz. Jason Mraz, Pusha T, Chris Brown. So there's actually a lot of big artists
brought
here.
Up when talking about states with a lot of music coming from there.
Known.
Got a little bit of old, a little bit of new, and you've got several different genres covered as well. Now I know that Gwar is actually from outer space, but I'm going to count them.
What have I just seen? God damn it.
And with Virginia being that's where the ship landed. Next up is Missouri, a state that is known for its play.
Nelly. Got some bangers. Sheryl Crow. Tech 9. Don't know many of these ones, to be honest.
Place in music history. Kansas City was known for its big jazz scene and St. Louis for its blues scene. You have many different genres covered here going back many decades, and most importantly, there's a band called Someone Still Loves You, Boris Yeltsin. Minnesota is another state with not a...
Prince, bro, you got Prince, Bob Dylan as well. Oh, we're starting off with some big hitters already. So we've got Prince, Bob Dylan, and then I don't know anyone else. So that's, I know Owl City. Oh God, you would not believe your eyes.
Of artists from there, but a couple of huge hitters here.
But yeah, huge hitters too.
Prince and Bob Dylan are the classic big names from Minnesota, but Owl City is huge too. I'm not sure how popular the Hold Steady are, but that's my personal favorite band of the past 20 years. Whereas Wisconsin, but that's my personal favorite huge too. I'm not sure how popular the Hold Steady are, but that's...
Oh, I thought he was talking about Owl City being his favorite band. I was like, wait, what's going on here?
That's my personal favorite band of the past 20 years.
I'm joking. I've not actually heard Owl City ever since that song. I just know them from that
Wisconsin
song.
And Colorado are the two states that really underperform in terms of the number of artists that come from there relative to its population. Oklahoma.
Garth Brooks, I know him. I think I know him because my girlfriend's dad really likes him. Wait, let me just search him up. Which is weird because he's from Romania, and obviously it's kind of random how I think he's a country singer, right? If he's the right guy. I think he might be, but I don't know. Maybe it's not him, I don't know. But there's someone in the US that that he loves, and yeah, I don't know. It's just what I was thinking. Maybe it was him or not. But yeah, I know of him. I feel like I've heard of Carrie Underwood before, and that's it.
It's the opposite.
I don't even know if anyone cares about if I know these or not. It's just for my own sort of.
It's only 28th in population, but 15th on this list. And as you might expect, it is mostly country, but some of the country here is big time. Even if Oklahoma was just Garth Brooks, it would probably still be in the top 30. But with Reba McEntire, Carrie Underwood, Toby Keith, and Vince Gill, the country music is strong in Oklahoma. And you also have Hanson. Heading over to Louisiana, another state known for its music heritage. A lot of jazz, a lot of country.
See, I know Britney Spears, Lil Wayne, And that's it.
And people in Louisiana really do appreciate a good piano player. Jerry Lee Lewis, Fats Domino, Harry Connick Jr., Dr. John, John Baptiste. They love the Ivories down there in Louisiana. But it isn't just the jazz and country. There's a lot of great Zydeco, blues, and hip-hop.
Where's Hans Zimmer from then?
And Britney.
He's from Germany, right? Because he's saying, you're talking about piano players and stuff. Because Hans Zimmer's elite, man. But where's he from? So that's actually a Z. Oh yeah, he is from... You could probably tell from his name, right? Yeah, he bangs her, man. I'm not going to lie.
Years. Heading over to Ohio, a long list of artists from there covering a wide variety of genres.
Legend. Devo, I don't know that.
It's hard to say that Ohio is known for any
Kid
single
Cudi.
type of genre because you look at this list, it covers a lot of
21
them.
Pilots,
And most
Marilyn
of the
Manson.
other states that have a lot of artists from there, you can look at it and say, well, a lot of these are more heavily disproportionate in
This
this
is
one
13
genre,
as
but
well.
not so much for Ohio. North Carolina, not a state known for its jazz so much, but some pretty
6 9
big
is a
jazz
bit of a
names
change.
here.
What the hell was happening here? George Clinton was a musician? What? Wait, what is going on here? J. Cole.
North Carolina is a pretty well-rounded state in terms
The
of its
Baby.
physical geography and economy, and it's also well-rounded in terms of its music. And just like as with Australia, I wanted to show where Canada would be if I were counting it the same
I
as
want
a
him to
state.
do the UK, man. I'd love to see the UK just to see where it would rank. Rush, Drake, Justin Bieber, Celine Dion, Bryan Adams, Anvil, The Guess Who. Yeah, I don't know a lot of these, to be honest. Top ones, obviously, everyone knows these people, but...
The country as a whole has just under 40 million people, which is about the same as California. And this is a pretty impressive list of artists from Canada
Yeah.
that have made it big.
Carly
in the
Rae
US.
Jepsen, Michael... Oh shit, Michael Bublé. I didn't even know Carly Rae Jepsen was from. Nelly Furtado? God damn.
However, I did not break these down by province, but Ontario, the most populous province in the country, does have the largest number of these artists. Florida
Not
doesn't
surprised.
have a large number of major
Ray
artists coming from
Charles.
there relative to its position as the third most populous state in the country.
So you got Ray Charles. Pitbull's from Florida? What? T-Pain, Flowrider, or Florida? Ha, I'm sorry. Ariana Grande, Limp Bizkit, Kodak Black, Jason Derulo, Lil Pump. Yeah, there's probably loads more that's been
But
left
there
as
are
well.
quite a few from Florida.
God, Lil Pump being in this list with someone like Ray Charles. When's it gonna end, man?
Most
hate
notably
it
is
here.
Ray Charles, and yes, he is from Florida, not
disrespect.
Georgia. And Ray Charles is one of the most important names in the history of rock and roll, but all of these other artists from Florida
Ray
came long
Charles.
after that. Even Tom Petty and Leonard Skinner came out 20 years after Ray Charles. Pennsylvania, 5th in population, 10th on this
Taylor
list.
Swift.
I don't-
The Roots. I feel like I've heard of The Roots, but this might just be a name that I don't actually know. Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa, Breaking Benjamin.
I don't think there's
Meek
any
Mill,
one
Lil
name
Uzi.
on this list that really stands out as a major A-plus act.
Big
This
artists.
is a really long list of A and A- list artists. And the world might know Will Smith for acting and The Slap, but
But Will
we'll
Smith's here.
always know Will Smith for being the Fresh Prince. The list for Washington is very heavily tilted towards
Jimi Hendrix. So yeah, there's some absolute legends that are popping up now. I mean, there's legends popping up before, but now the ones that I know about. But is he the only one that I know? I think he is. Foo Fighters, I know. Didn't know Foo Fighters were from. I didn't know they were from the US, but I don't know why I didn't know that. I've not listened to their music like that. I just assumed they're from the UK. I don't know why. Macklemore. Oh, God, not him.
rock bands.
Oh
But it isn't
God,
just
not
rock band, and
Macklemore.
a couple of its biggest artists are the ones that are not rock. Seattle music really made a name for itself in the early 90s, but Jimi Hendrix was the biggest name to come out of there. And love him or hate him, Kenny G sold a ton of albums. Little old Massachusetts with a long list of artists that have come from there. Boston
So I know Aerosmith.
is home to Boston
Joyner
and
Lucas.
many other artists as well.
Huh?
The city is home to the
what I
Berklee
know.
College of Music,
That's
which is one of the
embarrassing for me.
major music universities in the country, and many of these bands got started as people that went to that school, met each other, and just formed a band there. New
Meghan
Jersey
Trainor, I
doesn't
saw her
take up
actually.
much space on the map, but there is a
Whitney Houston, Frank Sinatra, Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi, the Fugees, My Chemical Romance. Yeah, there's a lot that I know here. Halsey.
long list of artists that come from there. You got one of the most well-known male and female crooners of all time from there. Some great rappers, some great hair metal, and one of my favorite punk bands of all time, the Misfits. So a wide variety of stuff coming out of New Jersey, 11th in population, 7th on this list. Illinois being ranked this high.
Chance the Rapper being number 1. My eyes are bleached, man. No chance. Surely there's some better ones than him. I know it's not actually ranked again, but he's just saying. So you got Chance the Rapper. That's the one that I know.
Going to be a surprise, being that Chicago is one of the most important cities in the history of music for this country.
Kanye West. Bro, Kanye West got to be there, man. But again, I know it's not ranked.
So a very long list of artists that come out of Illinois.
Fall Out Boy.
Not all of these are from Chicago either.
Vic Mensa.
Lots of great hip hop.
Oh, get R. Kelly out of this list now. Ludicrous.
Classic rock and jazz. And Chicago is the town where the electric blues got its big start.
Yeah, Illinois
is another state known for its wide
obviously I know that because Kanye West is from Chicago, isn't he? So.
Variety of music coming from there.
Georgia. Okay, there's a lot from Georgia. Outkast. Otis Redding. I feel like I know him. CeeLo Green. I was like, fuck you. Childish Gambino. Yeah, they got some big boys here.
You got a lot of classic R&B and rock and roll coming out of Atlanta.
Yeah,
a lot of the bands coming out of Athens, the college town. A lot of great country coming from there. And there's just as much stuff coming out of Georgia today as there was 30, 40, 50 years ago. One of the first states that you might think of when you think of music is Michigan, and for good reason.
Stevie Wonder. God, there's some real icons. When I sort of like see it like this, I realise like flipping out there's just some huge artists that I know of, but I didn't know like how many there actually were. Madonna. Oh yeah, we're starting off with some huge people. Obviously. Kid Rock. Bob Seger.
A lot of the stuff that we listen to today had its sound shaped by Michigan in the 1960s and 70s. Detroit was known for its sweet soul coming out of Motown and also loud, crunchy guitars and a hard rock scene. And there continues to be a lot of great music coming out of Michigan today. Texas being this high on the list is certainly no surprise.
Okay, I cannot read through all of this, but I'm seeing Beyonce, and that's the only one that I know here. I'll be real.
And even though there is a disproportionate number of country artists on this list, it's definitely not just country in Texas. Blues, hip-hop, rock and roll, metal, Tejano.
So New York and California will be number 1
but that's just one part of a huge state producing a lot of great music. Despite the huge number of major artists coming out of Texas, there are way more coming out of New York.
I can't read all this, but bloody hell, just off the top list alone. Kiss, Lady Gaga, A$AP Rocky, Billy Joel. I mean, that's the biggest contrast in music you'll possibly see. All different genres and all that kind of stuff. Flipping heck.
You'll probably need to pause the video and...
I will actually just look. I have to look, man. So obviously Jay-Z, Biggie, obviously. The Wu-Tang Clan, Alicia Keys. Lana Del Rey. Yeah, just look at the differences in genres. I didn't know Lana Del Rey was from the US either. But I don't listen to her music like that, but I just didn't know she was. From what I heard. 50 Cent. Mary J. Blige, DMX. God damn it, man. The iconic, like, stars, man. Some icons in their sort of, in their fields. In their genres. Ja Rule. I just remember Ja Rule from that meme. When he was at the NBA game or whatever. Poor guy. That can't be his legacy, can it? Puff Daddy, Diddy. Yeah, some huge artists.
In order to read all the names on this list, there are just that many. But also keep in mind, these are artists that are actually from New York, not ones that are from somewhere else that moved to New York to get big. But if you're growing up there are just going to be more talent scouts, more people in the business that might be able to recognize you. And as you can see, quite a few out of New York have been recognized. And I'm sure there's no surprise whatsoever as to what number 1 is, but it's...
Yeah, there's loads. Is it gonna like go
California.
down? Why is it like cut off here?
the state with the most number of people, you can expect to have the most number of artists come from there. But just like New York, even though there is a huge population, there's still a disproportionate number of major artists that come from there.
There's flipping loads, man. Vince Staples, Tyler the Creator, G-Eazy, Anderson .Paak. I used to think his name was Anderson .Paak, but I realised recently it's the double A, not an R. Frank Ocean, got Tiger, Lenny Kravitz, Smash Mouth. There's a lot that I don't know as well. Black Eyed Peas. Didn't know they were from California, but that's part of this video. Katy Perry, Linkin Park, Blink 182, Cypress Hill, Korn, MC Hammer. Wait, that's the one who said that's I can't touch this. Can't touch this. That's him, right? I didn't know that was his name. I'm flipping out. God. Ice Cube, Guns N' Roses, Red Hot Chili Peppers. They bang, man. They're one of my favourite bands. I'm not gonna lie. Green Day as well. God, there's some big flipping rock bands here. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, yeah, all kinds of genres. There's everything that you want here plus more. Tupac, of course, Kendrick Lamar, Metallica. Oh man.
And again, this is because you have a major media center there with Los Angeles, so you have more media talent, more scouts, more people that might
Maroon
see you
5.
for the first time in order to quote unquote discover you. So yes, a very large number of artists coming from the most populous state in the country. And as you saw from this list, there is a bit of a correlation between the population of that state and the number of music artists from there. But
I just want to see the UK. Biggest artists. Wait. But yeah, biggest artists from. Let's just search England. I'll just do England alone. It's going to come up with British anyway. Because I want to sort of see how it would compare. Because obviously it would be different sort of music, right? So yeah, the Beatles, Elton John, Led Zeppelin, Queen, Pink Floyd, the Rolling Stones. I don't know who Cliff Richard is. I probably should, but I don't. Ed Sheeran, Genesis. I don't know who this is either. Phil Collins, Adele, Coldplay, David Bowie, Fleetwood Mac, George Michael. Where does there's not any. It's quite like sort of Paul McCartney. A lot of the music here is a lot like sort of more similar. Like this is so much more diverse in terms of the music. Where would the UK rank, or England? This is British, so where would the UK rank? Maybe like number. It'd be up there. Because some of these artists are the biggest like of all time, but so are some of these ones here. So I mean, I guess it's just I guess it's down to opinions, right? If people like this sort of music, maybe people rank it number one. I don't really listen to any of these musicians, I'll be honest. I haven't really listened to any of these, so I can't really say. But yeah, top 3 I would say. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. A bit different, but I enjoyed it anyway. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.